special because this is the first time I'm going to make a video for YouTube that isn't just going to be a clip from my stream. So this and it's because of this game, right? Because this is an interesting little game that I had an idea for a video that I can do very easily. So I'm going to record this as well as be streaming it, and I might even do some magical editing for a YouTube version. But the standard version that will be up on my Let's Play channel is just going to be this fun little game, and I'm going to start streaming it, and I'm going to be playing it, and it's fun. So to show you what I mean, I've saved myself the Lightbringers campaign. So there are 3 of these games. There is Hordes, Invaders, and Armies. The original, I believe, was Armies, which had 2 classes of different sort of modern-ish army men style armies. Then there's this version, which is very Warcraft inspired Orcs versus Humans fantasy. And then there was Invaders, which is Space Marines versus sort of very destroy all humans looking sort of very cartoonish aliens. And I'm going to show this one because I think it has sort of the best mix of bits from different RTSs and different things to show you what I mean. And I think what's nice about this game, other than the cute idea that they went, voxel is a very cheap way to be able to push out a load of games and a load of different content and stuff without having to make a new crazy engine like they did for Grey Goo every time. So I'm going to start this campaign, and I'm going to play the first campaign on normal. You get 3 different types of things, and I believe basically how it works is this shows you what you start with. I'm going to start with 1 minecart and 1 pikeman. I'll unlock castle and arrow turret when I complete this mission, and if I complete the special missions, these will be added to my start. So if I kill all invaders and all 5 allied farms must survive, I will get 3 more pikemen at the start of every game, so I have 4. And, you know, if I send units to 5 farms and kill all invaders, I will get 1 more of these, right? So I just want to kind of show mechanics. It's basically the basics mechanics of this, and it's slightly different. There are slightly different things between the races of each build. But basically this is like the RTS model simplified as much as possible. So I start off, I have the typical town center, and these armies even have the typical sending minecarts to or sending workers to farm. Now, so I'm going to build this, which is essentially the barracks, and it has, even though the controls in this one, the controls very much like StarCraft, Warcraft wise, control wise, it actually
War Council complete.
It actually has also a lot of command of conquer elements. So if I start doing the 5 of these, stacking is fine because it just drains your resources as it goes. If I hold control, I can add 5, so I can just add a load of these and it will just keep going and it will drain my resources at an even amount. And you see, because look, there's already a guy waiting, so this is already not entirely sort of efficient if you want to try and play this well. And what you can also see, I'm going to start sending these here because I assume defending these is sort of the thing that I'm supposed to do.
Ally under attack.
Oh shit, there's stuff there.
Production halted. Build more farms.
Yep, so farms have run out. Now the interesting thing is, so you see there's this red zone that I can't build in, and this green zone that I can building. And you can see that trying to here build enough minecarts to sort of fill this up, soon these are going to start getting really overpopulated if I keep building stuff. It also has these boxes, which I believe are a command and conquer thing. I've not played much Command and
complete.
Conquer, so I do not know.
Ally under attack.
But the interesting thing is, right? So you can see I clearly want to, and I feel like these gold mine sort of things being placed throughout the map like this is, you know, very much sort of like the what were the games? The Dawn of War, Company of Heroes. That's the one I was trying to think of. That sort of way of getting you out on the map and stopping you from just doing the sort of old school mass a big huge army and attack all at once. Because
Vehicle crate. Production halted. Build
there
more
is
farms.
all these objectives that you need to get,
Ally
right?
under attack. Farm complete. Aircraft crate.
So, you need to keep pushing out on the map to get more of these. And when you have these sort of lines of workers going back and forward from these, you obviously want to sort of defend them. Now, I can't build... I mean, later I'd get turrets and stuff, but I can't build them here because it's all red. You can only build, like, a certain distance from the last building you built. So it also sort of, in a, I think, an interesting way, forces your base to kind of, oops, I'm microing this horribly. Oh, that's why I didn't hotkey that. That's what I was trying to do.
Farm complete.
It forces your base to be this sort of interesting sprawl, right? Because you can see I'm slowly moving my buildings out here so that I can get to the point where I can have buildings here. So if this was a game where I had all the stuff unlocked and I had, you know, turrets and all this sort of stuff, and I wanted to build turrets in front of my thing, and obviously this map is just one straight thing because this is the first map. But in other maps where this might just be the left fork of a right way, you know, I might have my army pushing up the right way, and I want to defend this left fork, so I get here and I want to build some towers to defend myself, you know. And it ends up forcing you to make these sort of interesting bases where you end up pushing out on each side. Now you may have noticed that it is, as I believe this is how Command and Conquer work. You don't create from all of your barracks.
War Council complete.
And by selecting a barracks and then right-clicking, I can change to which one's producing. So now this one will produce. So as I add new barracks further on, I could start producing from the further on bases.
Constructing.
And I had, as I've, with some of the other classes, I've gone sort of further into the game, I've got to points where you get these really sort of interesting divergent sort of bases where instead of just having, like, you know, the old standard StarCraft Command and Conquer, like,
complete.
you know, build a row of barracks here
Mission
sort
complete.
of thing, and, you know, build all your stuff sort of SimCity'd in one big clump. It sort of forces you to spread your base out amongst the whole map. That was sort of a bad map to show you because it didn't give me the best opportunities to sort of show you some of the more feat stuff, but, you know, we'll get into it. So if I make a YouTube video of this, like a proper one, I think I actually will want to, like, go through each people, like go through each class and, like, sort of show how they're all different. But other things that's good, right? One, money, right? You just have money. Really simplified. You just have money and that is all.
Constructing.
And then basically every race has money and some sort of population. In this, it's farm. And you need enough farms to keep more units coming out. Some other classes or the other races, I think both the other races, the newer and older ones, have power instead, and so you need power obviously to keep your buildings running. Okay, the sappers. I've never used the sappers before. They don't do friendly damage, which is good. Because they're actually kind of annoying to fight against, those sappers. But if I start just getting some more stuff out, I can sort of show you an example. This map looks like it'll be a better sort of example. Especially as I can make towers now. So I have a couple of minecarts going this way. And then, even though I haven't sort of saturated both of these really, I'm going to start sending them out further just to show you an example. So obviously, I can have my army up defending this side. But soon I'm going to need to push away. And if I push down this way, enemies could come through this way and attack this or whatever. I mean, this one's pretty well defended. But so it makes you want to, with your... I can make that. I can't make it this as far as I can make this just a weird little... Because the hills, you can only make in a weird little place there. So I'm starting people streaming down to there. And then I'm going to grab my army and push forward further. Complete. And then your base is sort of following your army in pushing out. Like obviously there I can build some towers, and then I can push down to here and have some towers there. And it really makes your bases more interesting than in a lot of games. These maps do the same things that they do on Dawn of War and Company of Heroes and stuff, where it forces you to move out onto the map and to not, you know, not just
infantry crete. Constructing.
Not just keep up into one base. It forces you also to have to defend and attack multiple places on the map. One of the things I've been enjoying about Age of Empires, which I've started playing, is that oh look, see, I'm even getting attacked down the side, like I said I could get. Put this there.
Constructing.
It means that, like, one of the things in Age of Empires, because of having all of the thing over the map, and it works even better in this, is because you have all this section where, like, if I was playing against a real player on the other side, he would know because it's how the game works. You know, that I am going to just like him, have my people sprawling out in all ways, so he will know that, like, over here could be weak, and so it sort of forces you to start spreading up your armies more than you would in a lot of games. One of the big problems that can happen with StarCraft and, you know, games like this is that you get sort of too deathbally. But if this is a real game, you know, I might want to have some of my army defending the front, have some of my army maybe going to defend this side, because, you know, I've been moving out all over this side, but I also might want to push out over here. You know, I might run up against a roadblock. He might imagine if this was, you know, an actual player and wasn't so easy, I might not be able to push through this far, and so instead of going down there, I'd have to find other resources, and so the other resources would obviously be around the side. Just realised I'm not actually producing anything. You know, I can make that. Start pushing these buildings out a bit more. Oh look, see, there's a back way around there, so I might want to have to be careful about attacks around there. I'm gonna move my thing out a bit.
War Council.
And I think overall what this does is it does just make for a surprisingly sort of interesting and kind of deep game from, you know, what is a very simple version of an RTS. Did I not change that? I thought I did change that. Yeah.
Harvester under attack.
Oh, was there stuff over there? Maybe. So I'm gonna I can put a thing here. I can make that now my barracks to get stuff from.
Harvester under
I'm
attack.
gonna make these 1-axe and send them over there. I'm gonna make these 2 and make them attack over that side on the far side of the map. And so I feel like you get
Arrow tower complete.
you're more, I can't think of the word, but it's made so that you're more likely to, and you're more incentivized to do these sort of like attacking all over the map. Even in this, single player campaign, because they will put objectives all over the map for you to get, and a lot of the time, you need to get them, for some of the harder ones, you need to get them within a time limit. Just go down there and make sure that's empty. One thing I do feel like is that the aggro not necessarily the best. I feel like if I'm in a situation like this and I A-click, they should always have priorities. Like in this, I feel like they just prioritize whatever's closest, but they should prioritize, attacking units first, so that here, I need to do a bit more micro to make sure they're not all just attacking farms, And I've had, I don't know if there's some logic to having it like that, so it's some sort of defender's advantage, but I just find that it ends up me losing fights that I feel like I should win, because they have me attacking buildings and stuff that I shouldn't be attacking. But yeah, so now I've got this, so I'm gonna have 2 towers. I didn't rescue the sappers fast enough. Yeah, and obviously in that map I only expanded down there, but I could have, expanded out a bit of both sides. I could have expanded down there and then pushed in the middle. There, as maps get more complicated, as they get bigger, you do end up getting that sort of stuff. And I just think this is sort of a fun game. Multiplayer-wise, there is multiplayer, and I'm not sure how it works overall. I believe, and hold on, if I just hit this, I can check. Yeah, I believe that, yeah, all of the games have linked multiplayer. So on my Steam, I have, Hordes, Armies, Invaders, all as separate games, and I actually have Armies Arena as a other separate game. You can buy either of them. They all have decently sized campaigns. I mean, these have 36, but that's 36 stars, I believe, and there are 3 stars on each mission, so you get a decent amount of missions, like 12. I think that's 12 missions, yeah. And you don't get that much on everyone, but you get at least one 12-sized mission, and then sometimes the other one's smaller. But they're decently sized. You can see I haven't got much further on this. I've played one of the army ones a little bit further, and then there's also a co-op campaign, so you can do some 2v2 stuff with friends or whatever. I'm sure I'm going to find a friend to play through some of this with me at some point, maybe. And each game has all of that. The multiplayers are all linked. If you just want to play the multiplayer, which is what I did originally, before I decided I actually kind of like the game, each of the games is normally 10 quid, I believe. The multiplayer only one is only £4. So super cheap. There's not super many people on. As you can see, 1 or 2 games at a time, and these games do come up and down quite regularly. So you can normally find a game, but it might take a little while. The system they use to do it, if I just hit a random big map, oh no, that's a community map, so it's going to have to download. If I just hit a random big map, the way they do it, you can see they have enable host only or whatever. The host sets the mode or whatever, people join, and then, like this map, 2 starting spawns of 4 people. If I just let people pile into the game, they all hit ready and I hit go, we'll all be on separate teams. So either the host or most people let people do it themselves, but I normally go host only because it just saves the hassle. Just then has to, make sure people are all on team one. If people want to go on the same team, you have to change their start location and then set their team to the right team so you can get it all. Everyone has to click ready before you hit start, and if anyone changes who they are, that cancels everyone's ready. So that you can't quickly at the last minute change tank, I guess. I don't know. So you can't quickly at the last moment change your team and then go and then ruin the balance or something. I don't know. Which works fine, but it does mean that you'll spend a lot of time. People will hit ready and then quickly run to the loo and then come back and be like, oh god. So it's not perfect. There is also a quick match, which will just load you straight into a 1v1. It doesn't. It actually has. I think most people seemingly, which surprises me, most people seem to play the 1v1 rather than playing the big. I guess the sort of difficulty of getting a lobby together stops people wanting to do it. But a lot of people seem to play the quick match over the lobby matches because I do seem to get games quite quickly. And there is a sort of ranking system. I checked earlier when I was playing it, and it said peon for me and grunt for the enemy. So I think it's sort of like the Warcraft 3 system, which makes me think it might work the same, which isn't the best sort of ranking system. The Warcraft 3 ranking system just worked on, you had to get a certain amount of wins and then you got a new rank. So you could lose 100 games, but if you got 25 wins, that then made you a grunt or whatever. So not the best system if it works out. I don't know. It might be more sophisticated matchmaking that just has those terms, but I have not looked up it at all. So for anyone who does watch my channel, I'm gonna try and play this a lot. I probably won't do many more YouTube videos on this because it seems like the sort of game that I'm just gonna sit and spam out. I don't think I'll focus on it that much. It's just gonna be sort of a chill, relaxing thing. But I might. Just depends how much I get into it, and depends how, because I just did this level of the Orc campaign. As you can see, I didn't even get any of these, even though this is actually really easy. Gold is a bit more difficult, but that one would be really easy. I just forgot what it was. But this one, I sort of took slowly, and I just tried to build my base up, and it ended up being really fun because my base was there, his base was there. And I sort of, my first mine was there, and he was actually quite aggressive, surprisingly aggressive. So I had mines there, and then a mine up there, and then a mine there. So I had to push up here and try and defend pushing up this way. First objective there, and another mine over here and here. So I had sort of my base was sort of snaking was the word I was looking for, snaking out this way. But then I had to keep this base sort of built up so that they couldn't attack there, and then my base started to go out this way and then out the middle and then down around the side, pushing up this way and then out a bit this way to catch some of this. And it just ended up being really cool. That sort of divergent base building that I was talking about started happening, and it was fun. So if I get higher up to some of the harder missions, and they start being this interesting more regularly, then I might start, start doing some more videos of them. I could even go through them all and do like a thing, although I feel like there needs to be a way to like reset your progress or something so that if I wanted to redo them all again I could without having a huge starting army or whatever. Well, I guess it's not actually that much. You only get I've done all this and I only have small little tiny armies, so it doesn't matter too much. But anyway, yeah, that was 8-Bit Hordes. I'm going to be playing this, Halo Wars 2 when it comes out, Age of Empires, and some more StarCraft hopefully. So along with Vanilla WoW, I'm going to sort of be on a bit of an RTS tinge for the next couple of days. And I hope you enjoyed this video, this little look into this sort of super simple game. I might do a video on the multiplayer, just one, but I don't know, because it's sort of the same, tactics wise. It just seems to be find out what the best units are, spread out as fast as you can. And I think this is a worry I have, the one worry I have for this game. I feel like the multiplayer is pretty unbalanced. I feel like the invaders, because of their money mechanic, which is instead of having all those workers going back and forward from a place, they just send a worker to a place and that just gets resources. I feel like that makes them kind of OP. So if it turns out that they are already OP and you can only play Marines or aliens, whatever they're called, that will be upsetting. I'm gonna try and play some of these guys some more in multiplayer and see if I can make it work, and if I can't, I'll just be a pussy and go on to Marines. I've definitely been able to make Marines work, which is why I'm slightly worried. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you maybe enjoy the game if you go and get it. And I am going to probably stream a little bit more of this, just having some fun, and then go into Age of Empires. So thank you, and goodbye.